The banners have been raised in Seattle. Bang, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our Seattle Kraken franchise mode. The Seattle Kraken officially coming back from their second Stanley Cup, and that's where we left off from last episode with the playoffs now ending. First things first, let's take a look at the awards on the season. Obviously, the Seattle Kraken now 2 Stanley Cups in the last 3 seasons. Cale Makar here wins the Art Ross Trophy. The Hart Memorial Trophy goes to Bedard. Makar with the Norris, Lady Bing. Conn Smythe going to Shane Wright, as you can see there. Spencer Knight with the Vezina Trophy. Look at those list of winners there. I know I mention this every time, but just look at those names. Rossi wins the Selke. Bedard wins the 10 Lindsay and the Rocket Richard. A quick look at our playoff stats here. William Eklund leading the team in points with 25 points in 22 games. Kamel with 24 points in 22 games. I believe, no, he didn't have the most goals. Shane Wright, 24 points as well. He ended up taking home the Conn Smythe. And the most goals on the team here, Cole Caulfield, 15 goals in 22 games. And for the goalies, Dustin Wolf held it down pretty much for us. 16 wins, 22 games, took home the Stanley Cup for us. And Jet Greaves, who actually made 2 appearances and actually had some pretty solid stats, a 1-1 record though. And that is the former Conn Smythe winner there, but now obviously a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. We're going to simulate the NHL draft where the Columbus Blue Jackets jump from 8-1 to win the draft lottery. Going through the list of retired names here, Eli Tolvanen's going to retire at the age of 35, 77 overall, and obviously a former Stanley Cup winner. Here we are at the NHL entry draft, the Columbus Blue Jackets with the first overall pick. And we actually hold the 28th overall pick from what I believe was the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, so we have the Blackhawks pick at 28 and the 32nd pick from our own. Let's see here. The Columbus Blue Jackets are actually willing to move with the first overall pick. I doubt this would work, but we'll just send it over. Yeah, 2 first-round picks wouldn't make the deal done. Imagine if we threw in a third and that was it. That was the deal. No, they're going to reject. Yeah, so obviously that's definitely not enough. We could probably move up here if this is a strong draft class. I'm going to have a look at the draft class here. For whatever reason, nobody scouted. I mean, I have scouts here, but Jonathan Martin is the highest ranked player here, the first ranked player. All A's for him, Joe Thornton style, and medium elite potential. So we'll simulate the first overall pick here where the Blue Jackets will select him at an 82 overall. Rangers go with Forrest at an 81. Mahalik there at an 80 overall. Let's look here at maybe like the 6th through 10th overall selection. We'll see what we can do with that. We're going to attempt this trade here. The 28th overall selection and the 32nd overall selection for the 6th. They're going to reject. I feel like this is actually close to being accepted. We'll try to move to a team that is actually looking to trade their pick. I believe Calgary was one of those teams, or I'm sorry, the Devils. After evaluating our options, I felt it was best to just go on with the 2 picks. So we are going to make the 2 selections here where we have the 28th overall selection in the first round. With our 28th selection, we're going to go with Radek Kaspar here. He is a pretty highly rated player here. He's NHL ready and a medium top 4 potential, similar style here to Mark-Edward Vlasic. So with our 28th selection, welcome to the Seattle Kraken, Radek Kaspar. Yeah, there he is, a 78 overall, a pretty solid pick here for the 28th selection. I think he's going to pan out to be one of our best players in the next couple years. On to the 32nd selection here. That is probably the steal so far of this draft. A medium top 4 defenseman at a 78 overall this late into the draft. Obviously, you can see the Predators got the same thing at the 7th overall selection. Unfortunately, none of these players are scouted. I mean, what do I even pay these scouts for? Anyways, yeah, we're just gonna go with the top ranked player here, I guess. We'll go with Ulf Havelid. Ulf Havelid, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. A 61 overall medium top 9 forward, so not bad for the final pick of the first round. Simulates our pick in the 3rd round. We didn't have a 2nd round pick. We're going to go with Patrick Machovsky here, a low top 9 forward in the 3rd round. So Patrick Machovsky, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. He's going to come at a 57 overall. With our 128th selection, we're going to go with Stephen Fournier here. Stephen Fournier, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. A medium top 9 forward here in the 4th round, so another pretty decent pick, I would say. Here in the 5th round with our selection here, we're going to be selecting Wesley Wanvig with our 160th selection here, 160th pick, I should say. So Wesley Wanvig, welcome to the Seattle Kraken here. A low top 9 forward at 63 overall. In the 6th round here with our 192nd selection, we'll be selecting Sawyer Getzlaf here, a medium elite potential. Sawyer Getzlaf, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. A medium bottom 6 forward here, 53 overall. That's kind of what you expect from a 6th round selection. And on to the final pick of the draft here. This leads to the draft. I'm just going to take a gamble with the highest potential player, which would be Gustavo Yoshida here. So Gustavo Yoshida, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. And that concludes the entry draft here. A low top 6 defenseman. Now on to our re-sign phase of our offseason. We got to re-sign our free agents here. Some of the top names here, including William Eklund, Ulf Bruin, Kamel, and of course Vince Dunn here at 37 years of age. A couple RFAs here as well. Joel Garcia, Pedro Frank. First things first though, we'll be offering Radek Kaspar his entry-level contract, and he will accept right away. Kamel wants $8.3 million at a 6-year deal. We'll offer him a 5-year deal, see what he says to that. He will actually accept right away, so there we go. William Eklund here looking for a sub $10 million deal, so we'll actually gladly take that. He did want a clause. We're not going to offer that to him. Only 3 years. We'll offer that to him, and he'll accept right away. Now on to Victor Eklund as well. 2.7 for 2 years. We'll offer that to him. He'll also accept right away. Vince Dunn does want a 2-year deal. I'm going to offer him a 1-year deal to see what he says to that. He'll get back to us. Uriel Bruin wants $8 million here at 3 years. I do kind of want to give him a longer-term deal, but if he only wants 3 years, we'll offer that to him for now, and he'll get back to us. Pedro Frank is part of his RFA deal here. He wants $6 million. He wants a 6x6 with a modified no movement clause. We'll see if we can finesse no clause here. We'll offer him that deal, and he'll get back to us. Vince Dunn rejects the 1-year deal because he wants to be on a team that is vying for the Stanley Cup often. You are a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Kraken. We literally just won a freaking Stanley Cup. This game makes no sense. You're the 2-time captain of this team. I don't understand. I really don't understand this game sometimes. Pedro Frank does accept his deal. So does Uriel Bruin. If it's really up to Vince Dunn, maybe he just wants a 2-year contract. Okay, yep, he just accepts that. Makes no sense. It really does. We are simulating to the free agency day. The top free agent is a 96 overall Quinn Hughes there at a 34 years of age. 96 still at 34 is kind of crazy to me. He's been on the Hurricanes for the last couple of seasons here. Mason McTavish as well, one of the top free agent forward. This is a pretty strong free agency class. I can't lie to you. Michael Misa there as well, a free agent. This is one UFA that I've been looking at here. Pavel Nikitin, still 25 years of age, by the way, so I don't even know how he's a UFA. 85 overall, and he had 33 goals last season. So honestly, that would be a good addition. We really don't need to bolster any offense. I like to throw our name in the ring, so we'll offer him in this contract here. He'll get back to us. To be quite honest, there isn't really any moves we have to make. Our team is pretty strong as it is, obviously being the defending Stanley Cup champions, and we brought back all of our names. So really, it's just going to be that one offer here to Nikitin. Kind of curious to see where Quinn Hughes goes this late in his career, maybe to chase a Stanley Cup. Pavel Nikitin does decline our offer. We don't have enough roster spots on our team, so yeah, that actually does kind of suck. So really, we couldn't even bring anybody in anyways. Quinn Hughes taken off the free agency board, so let's see where he went. Quinn Hughes going to the Columbus Blue Jackets here at a 96 overall, coming off a 81-point season in 82 games. I actually don't know how Columbus's team is looking here this late into the simulation. These are the top rated names in the NHL, by the way. Interesting to note, Matthew Schaefer on the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm curious to know what the Islanders did there. And just imagine that, a defensive pairing of Landon Dupont and Quinn Hughes. Obviously, two kind of offensive-minded players. So I don't know if they would be on the same pairing, but still crazy nonetheless. So without further ado, let's simulate to the next season, our 10th season with the Seattle Kraken. And let's possibly go for 3 Stanley Cups in the last 4 seasons. Here we are officially for season number 10. Lane Lambert's still at the helm. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Here we are for the opening game of the season at Climate Pledge Arena between the Seattle Kraken and the Chicago Blackhawks, where we will be facing reigning Vezina winner Spencer Knight. Season number 10 of our Seattle Kraken franchise mode set to get underway here at Climate Pledge Arena. Beniers and Bedard on the face-off. The reigning Hart winner, Connor Bedard, that is. Here we are underway. A tough matchup here to start the season. Caulfield wants to start our season off strong. It's the reigning President's Trophy winners against the reigning Stanley Cup winners. Caulfield here on a breakaway. Caulfield forehand backhand. What a save by Knight, showing us why he's the current Vezina winner. Caulfield again looking for Hudson. 2-on-1 here coming for the Blackhawks. Shot there. Ooh, still loose in front, but we get it out. Up to Beniers. Over to Caulfield. Avoids a hit. Now up to Cooley. Cooley avoids the hit. Good shot there. Played up to Cooley. Nice move by Cooley. A shot, he scores! Will Cooley with the quick release. And the first goal of the season for the Seattle Kraken goes to Will Cooley. A nice snipe there on Spencer Knight. A nice move as well. Look at this deke right here. And rips it top corner. 1-0 to the Seattle Kraken. We're yet here with a good opportunity. I don't think he played at all last season. I think he played in the AHL. Another good opportunity for him. All the way up now to Snuggerud. Across to Bruin. Back up to Snuggerud. A shot and covered by Knight. Hedican here on the draw, making his NHL debut. We drafted him a couple of seasons ago. Traded up for him. Actually, I don't even think we technically drafted him. We did trade for his rights at the draft. Hedican out in front. No, there was a stick in the lane. Time winding down. Can we get a shot off here with Hudson? No, it's gloved down by Knight. And the first intermission here, the Seattle Kraken have a 1-0 lead thanks to Will Cooley. On to the second period now. Played up to Eklund. William Eklund trying to get through. He can't. Caulfield, oh, a good opportunity out in front. Couldn't tuck it in. Good offensive pressure, though, from the Seattle Kraken as the Blackhawks come the other way. It's poked off, and we're going to ice it here. Something really quick I just want to talk about while I play the game here. NHL 27, I can't lie, the beta, which I can't really give too many details about, but the beta is actually pretty good. I can't lie, it's looking quite juicy. I'm thinking about making a video talking about NHL 27, talking about as much as the beta as I can. Obviously, the return of GM Connected, now known as Connected Franchise, almost 12 years later. I'm so excited for that. Maybe we'll do a Connected Franchise here with the subscribers of the channel. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. But that is something I am so excited for. Being able to play franchise mode with my friends once again. Hopefully with my subscribers too. A good opportunity here for Beniers. Looking for options. Got Hudson, a good shot there. Let me know what you guys think of NHL 27. I can't lie, it's pretty decent. Just going off of the beta. Let me know if you guys are excited for the game. I'm kind of excited this year. I think there is some gameplay improvements. Apparently they're getting rid of LT/L2 skating. Who knows if that's 100% true coming from EA, but guess we'll never know until the game officially launches. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Oh, Frank in front. Good opportunity there. One-time shot from Bruin. Kind of a weak shot. Full pressure for the Kraken as that's going to end. 11 shots here for the Kraken. Maybe if we can blow past Sider here. Frank cuts inside. He scores! Pedro Frank cuts through the defenseman. And that's his first goal of the season here, obviously in the first game. And the Seattle Kraken have doubled their lead. Spencer Knight has definitely been keeping them into this game. As we get through their D once again for both goals here, he's probably not happy about that. But yet wins that puck. If he could keep with it, oh no, he couldn't get that backhand shot off. That probably would have been a goal. Time winding down here on the second period, and that's going to come to an end. The Seattle Kraken now with a 2-0 lead here against the Chicago Blackhawks as we look to close this game out here in the third period. On to the third period now, where the Chicago Blackhawks have only been held to 4 shots. We'll see if we can keep maintaining them here. A 2-0 lead into the third period, which is now underway. All right, and not the best start here as we do take a tripping penalty. It's going to be Cole Caulfield. Let's watch this play here. Yeah, it's most definitely tripping. Rough start to the third period here. The Blackhawks now on the power play. Get up to Bruin, who will not clear it. Bedard in front for more. Good break up there by Platt, and obviously a good save there by Wolf. Rimmed around to Parekh, who will try to clear it. Korchinski cuts him off, struggling to clear it out there. We could win this puck with Parekh. Nope, Korchinski's still on us. Up to Bruin now, and he'll clear it. A minute left now for the Blackhawks on the power play. Opportunity for the Blackhawks here. Obviously, they get full pressure, but we clear it out. Spencer Knight struggling to pick up the puck there. Oglander gives it away. Hudson now with the puck. He's going to carry it in his own zone here. 10 seconds left. He's going to rag it in our own zone. Power play comes to an end for the Blackhawks. Caulfield out of the box now as he gets a shot off right from the box. Power with a one-time opportunity there. Here's Kamel looking for Cooley across. Good save there once again. Cooley looking for a second of the game. Frank all the way across to Platt. Platt makes a nice move. Platt still. Oh, what a nice play that was, and what a nice goal that would have been. Pierce throws on a shot. Full pressure here for the Kraken. We don't have the puck. The Blackhawks try to get it out. Is that still onside? Now it's not. Still full pressure here for the Kraken. Vince Dunn looking for the puck. He can't get it. Goyette with a shot off the blocker of Knight. Final 2 minutes here of this game. Wolf plays that off. Empty net here for the Blackhawks. Cooley pokes it away. Cooley plays it up to Snuggerud. If he can get the empty netter here on the backhand off the post. Snuggerud with the opportunity to tuck this game away. Blackhawks still have it here. A good opportunity there by a guy whose name I will try to not pronounce. Cooley with the shot. Now off the post as well. Are you serious? 2 straight posts on the empty net. I'm pretty sure all it's the same post. Matika here for the Blackhawks. Good save by Wolf. Played up to Eklund. Can we finally put this away? I thought we hit the post. All right, William Eklund tucks the game to bed here. 3-0 for the Seattle Kraken. Here come the Kraken as time winds down. Eklund, oh, a good rebound opportunity there, but it doesn't really matter. The Seattle Kraken win the game. A big shutout here for Dustin Wolf. And of course, we move. Double the shots that the Blackhawks had. A great game from the Seattle Kraken. Now simulating to the month of December, where we will take the Philadelphia Flyers on the road. So here we are in December of 2034 with the Seattle Kraken are 13-8-2 here, which I believe, yeah, puts us third in the Pacific Division. Not a bad record to have here. I mean, we could obviously be a little bit better. We're going to jump into the simulation here against the Philadelphia Flyers. All right, you know what? Maybe not. Yep, all right, never mind. That didn't happen. We're going to be jumping into the simulation against the New Jersey Devils. That's definitely a lot better. After 2 periods here, we have a 3-2 lead against the Devils. Let's jump in. Here at the Prudential Center, the Rock as they call it. Mears wins the draw here to open up the 3rd period. Dunn, he skates on and he scores! Vince Dunn, what a goal there. 2nd goal of the season, and that doubles our lead now 4-2 against the Devils. Oh, we're going to go off with another tripping penalty here. Unless the Devils could score here on the delayed penalty. No, that goes out. And Kamel's going to go off for tripping. Jack Hughes in front. Can't get an opportunity. A broken stick in the lane. So we move that up to Eklund. We actually have space to skate here. If we can get a shorthanded goal here, perhaps. No. Good opportunity, though. Given away to Velarde. Here's Frank on the half wall with speed. Looking for Victor Eklund. He can't get it to him. Good opportunities here for the Seattle Kraken on the penalty kill. Oh, a shot by Bruin, and he scores his 2nd goal of the game. And it comes shorthanded. Uriel Bruin. Not really a snipe, but it still somehow goes in. It's now a 5-2 lead here for the Seattle Kraken. Starts off with a big hit there by Bruin. Dumps his 2nd on the Kraken's point leaderboard. And a big shorthanded opportunity for the Seattle Kraken pays off. We're still shorthanded, by the way. We still get it into the Devil zone. Time winds down on the power play. We clear it out. Still with Perek now. He still has it. Doesn't want to let go of it. Now he does to Goyette. He scores! Goyette taps it in, goes through the 5-hole, and it is a 6-2 lead for the Seattle Kraken here. David Goyette back in the Kraken lineup and gets back on the score sheet here. And after an embarrassing thrashing last game to the Flyers, we're now the ones doing the thrashing. A 6-2 lead for the Seattle Kraken. A big hit by Goyette, and after he scores, he's going to get into a fight here against Jaden Struble. Gloves are off. Punches being landed by both sides here. Spamming that right stick. And Struble's going to take care of Goyette, who falls down to the ice. Unfortunately, an injury there for the Devils is what caused the fight. Beniers with speed, a shot. Eklund with the rebound, denied. Time winding down here in this game. The Kraken still in the Devil zone here. Big hit by Price. Here's Bruin. He wants the hat trick. Played up to Bruin. He wants the hat trick here. Can he get it here? Time winding down. He curls, he shoots, he scores! And he gets the hat trick here. Uriel Bruin with time winding down. And now the 7th goal of the game for the Seattle Kraken. And Uriel Bruin gets the hat trick, curls, shoots, and gets it in. And like I mentioned before, after a thrashing against the Flyers, we are the ones doing the thrashing here. The Seattle Kraken, a huge victory as time winds down on this game. Nico Hischier, after all this time, still in the Devils, still the captain. And there's the final horn. A big win for the Seattle Kraken, a 7-2 victory against the Devils. We're going to simulate to next month where we'll be taking on the Washington Capitals at home, a rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals. Here we are now, January 18th. The Seattle Kraken are top of their division, top of the Pacific Division, tied in points with the Oilers, but we have the top rank here, 2 games in hand. We got an earlier in the month, we got a win against the Capitals, as we look to get one tonight as well. We actually had a pretty solid, not a winning streak, but a nice winning stretch here against some of our Western Conference opponents. Now on to another Metro opponent, the Washington Capitals, a rematch now at home of the 2034 Stanley Cup Finals. We'll simulate the first 2 periods here against the Capitals. After 2 periods here, the Capitals up 4-1 against us. We have a 3-goal deficit, and we look to fight back here in the 3rd period as we'll jump in. We'll be wearing the same jerseys that we wore against the Capitals when we clinched the Stanley Cup in the same stadium here, Climate Pledge Arena, where we did such thing. This time, though, we're down 3 goals in the regular season field. Eklund looking back to Caulfield here. He can't get it. The great 8, Zach Benson here for the Capitals. Oh, giving away to Forster. Remember, Forster actually had the overtime winner. I believe it was game 1 against us in the finals. Eklund back to Kamel. Great drop pass. Too many moves there. Blomqvist. Power rips a drive. Covered by Blomqvist. Great forecheck. Cooley cuts inside now this time, and he gets the goal this time. Will Cooley cuts the lead down to 2 for the Capitals. Played up to Power. Power now with the shot. Goyette looking for the rebound. Kraken looking to spark a comeback here. Eklund with it. Nice move by Eklund. Backhand rebound by Goyette. It's on the line. No, and Blomqvist covers. How we did not score on those opportunities is beyond me. Still a 2-goal game here for the Capitals. Frank with the shot, covered by Blomqvist. No, he actually lets it out. We should look to pull the goalie soon here, down by 2. Eklund throws on a shot. Regardless, we're still putting on great pressure here. Full pressure for the Kraken. Now's the time to pull the goalie. Caulfield in front. Can't get the shot off. Sexton comes the other way. Looks to get the shot, and he's going to bury it. Sexton wearing 69, by the way. Nice. Giggity. That must be a top-selling jersey for the Capitals. As anyways, he puts the game to bed here. 5-2 lead for the Capitals. Correct shot gets blocked. Not that it really matters here. Cooley with a shot blocked by his own teammate. Time winds down here, and the Washington Capitals get the best of us here in the Stanley Cup final rematch. Let's simulate to the trade deadline here, where we do have a game against the Jets on that day. Going into the trade deadline here with a record of 36-18-6, we're going to be looking to buy here. The top name available is former Kraken defenseman Adam Fox, who we did trade last episode for Uriel Bruin. To get Fox back, just out of curiosity, we would need to give up 2 first-round picks. After looking at my options here for the trade deadline, I feel like it's best to not make any moves. There isn't really any good forward names that I'm looking to part ways with our first-round pick for. We will simulate the rest of the regular season here. We're currently in a wild card spot. We look to get back into the playoffs here, and remember, last time we won the Stanley Cup, we actually didn't even make the playoffs the following year. A couple of games in hand for us, though. I believe we have the least amount of games played in the entire league. And so here we are, 100 points for the Seattle Kraken as we do clinch a playoff spot. 2 remaining games left here on the season. Oilers already clinching the Pacific Division title, as the Sharks are the only team on our way now to get the second place spot in the division. So let's simulate the final 2 games here, as we are going to find out who our first round opponent is here in the playoffs. As yes, we do clinch the second place spot here in the Pacific Division, 3rd place in the entire Western Conference. And what a great season here for the Seattle Kraken as we now look to defend our Stanley Cup. William Eklund being our top point scorer here with 68 points in 82 games. Shane Wright, 65 points. Joakim Kamel with 28 goals. He'll be our leading goal scorer. 28 goals for Cole Caulfield. I've kind of noticed in this simulation, we don't really have any top point producers, but it's just an all-around performance from everybody, and that's awesome. A great season once again from both goaltenders here. Dustin Wolf, 35 wins. 14 wins in 24 games for Jet Greaves, holding it down as our backup. Leading point scorer is going to be Kyle Connor here. He'll take home the Art Ross. Still 1 game left, I believe, for him and the Canadiens, unless he just missed a game. Connor Bedard, 103 points. Once again, a great season from him. Demidov with 103. And Bedard's going to take home the Rocket Richard once again. 66 goals for him. 600 goals in 954 games. He's looking for that all-time goal record here. And at this pace, he's probably going to break it. He's such a beast in this franchise mode simulation. But time to worry about our players here in our team as we look to see our first round opponent will be the San Jose Sharks. And this is going to be a pretty tough matchup here for both teams. Could possibly be a 7-game series. Without further ado, let's start simulating game number 1 of the first round against the San Jose Sharks. First period here, the Seattle Kraken up to a 2-1 lead against the Sharks. Still a 1-goal lead after 2. A shorthanded goal for the Sharks as Belkets ties it right away to start the 3rd period. Platt gets on the board here. We have the lead. Sharks tie it right back up. A pretty close first game here as we're going to jump in to overtime. Here we are, game number 1 in overtime against the Sharks. Home at Climate Pledge Arena. Give it away here to Caulfield. Looking for a hot start. Here's Celebrini, one of the players you don't want to see on the attacking rush. Dobson now, pass broken up, still Celebrini with it. Smith trying to get it to him. Broken up. Come back the other way now. Caulfield avoids the hit. Oh, almost put into our own net there. A couple weird bounces. Stenberg there on the Sharks, who is on the Sharks in real life, so it looks like the game didn't correctly predict that. Power with a drive, gloved down by Askarov, let go. And released to Dobson. Wright has it. Tries to get a shot. Blocked off by Kamel. As Kamel gets a shot of his own. But once again covered by Askarov. Here's Frank now with speed. Frank on a breakaway. Pedro Frank denied. Best opportunity so far as Pedro Frank gets denied on the breakaway. Platt poked that away. Hedekin's there to pick that up. Hedekin looking for his first career playoff goal. He throws a shot off. He's going to lose. Platt scores. Platt is 2nd goal of the game. Wins game 1 in overtime for the Seattle Kraken. A big goal here as the Kraken take game number 1 of the first round. A big goal from Alan Platt gives us a 1-0 series lead here against the Sharks. We're going to simulate to game number 2 now. Here we are, game number 2 against the Sharks, simulating the first period, 1-1 after 1. 2-1 for the Sharks after 2, so we'll simulate the third period. Snuggerud ties the game up here for the Kraken. Platt once again comes up clutch. A late goal, and Shane Wright tacks on a 2-goal lead for the Kraken and a 2-0 series lead against the Sharks. Absolutely massive here for the Kraken. A great start. We look to carry it on now as we are at the SAP Center away from home. Game number 3, simulating the first period, a 2-goal lead here for the Sharks, and now a 3-goal lead as the Sharks look to take game number 3 here, as they have a 3-goal lead. Hamel gets one back for us. Time winds down. That's going to be the only goal of the game here. Well, only goal of the third period, I should say. The San Jose Sharks take game number 3 onto game 4 here. First period simulating, we have a 2-goal lead here, a 3-1 lead against the Sharks. Hedican gets his first career playoff goal. Second period simulating is still a 2-goal lead here for the Seattle Kraken, a 5-3 lead as we simulate the third period. Next goal could be the biggest one here of this game and possibly of the series so far, as the Seattle Kraken, with time winding down, look to take a commanding 3-1 series lead against the Sharks. And it looks like they will do that. The Seattle Kraken go back to Climate Pledge Arena with an opportunity to close the series out. Here we are for game number 5 against the Sharks. First period simulating, and the Sharks come out to a 1-0 lead thanks to Hunter once again in this series. Second period simulating, nothing doing for both teams. So we will simulate the third period. Hedican gets a goal on the power play, and Beniers right after 2 goals in 8 seconds for the Seattle Kraken. Celebrini ties it up for the Sharks here. Eklund gets it right back. A high-paced third period here as the Seattle Kraken look to close it out. Chubarov gets the tying goal for the Sharks, and it looks like we're going to overtime here in game number 5. Another overtime here between these two teams. If the Seattle Kraken score, they move on to the second round. If the San Jose Sharks score, they move on to game number 6. Beniers with speed, curls, has Caulfield in front. He can't get the shot off. He's broken up there. Hudson. Back to Perek, back to Hudson. Over to Eklund now. Trying to get that pass. No, that was broken up. Hudson still has it. Here's Lane Hudson. Perek with the slap shot. A good save there by Askarov. Eklund's going to get a tripping penalty here. A big power play coming up for the San Jose Sharks. A trip on Noah Dobson. 5-on-4 power play for the Sharks. In overtime, Darby shot by Hunter, and he scores his second goal of the game, and the San Jose Sharks hold on and force a Game 6. Game 6 here at the SAP Center. The Seattle Kraken still look to close the series here as the Sharks jump out to a 2-1 lead, in the first period. 2 periods simulated here, 2 goals from Celebrini, a 4-1 lead now for the Sharks as they're going to close it out and force a Game 7 against the Seattle Kraken. A Game 7 here between the two teams. The Seattle Kraken thankfully at home against the San Jose Sharks at Climate Pledge Arena. But now for the first time after being up 3-1 in the series, on the verge of elimination. First period and a bad start here. Are you serious? The Sharks jump out to a 3-0 lead here against the Kraken in the first period. They jump out to a 4-1 lead, and that's going to be our season. The San Jose Sharks come back from a 3-1 deficit and eliminate the reigning Stanley Cup champions. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to leave off for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode, we'll find out who wins the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, it's not us. We'll do our draft. We'll do our free agency next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And, of course, let's go Kraken.